kidding. It was fun.
Fantastic. It's like, dude, what are you doing?
Why didn't you tell me?
Yeah,
I would have invited you. I think that's why. I think that's
what I was
reason. I was just like, why didn't you think of it before?
It was an in the moment thing. I just thought, well, shit.
Oh, no.
You're talking to Bill.
I'm more than happy to have Nevs here. This is great.
I'm
getting to meet all my long-term friends, finally on camera.
Cool. Well, we started about
we do actually exist outside of our phones and everything.
I know. We're actual people. That's the weird thing. Is I wasn't sure I was.
I know, right? I'm three-dimensional. Look.
Look,
I'm a Blackthorn comic.
It looks as if I can touch myself.
We don't want to hear that, mate.
We're back to OnlyFans.
Yeah, that sounded weird.
Thank you. We went live while I stepped in the other room. How about that?
We were live for that minute, mate. You were live when you were still in. You were still on. I thought I'd just start it and see if anything interesting was said. That's all.
At least we weren't on yet. I don't think.
Oh, we've been on for a minute, mate. We've been on for a full minute.
Oh no!
If I copy the link that's in the browser, will that take people to the show?
Yeah. And you talk about at the top of YouTube, on the YouTube channel. Not the link that we're talking on, no, because that'll get them straight onto the stream, unless it's someone you particularly want to invite
that's
on.
What I figured.
You want to pull Lauren in, hit him with that.
No. Lauren has got more than enough going on at the moment.
Yeah,
but I don't think I'm allowed to talk about it. It will be interesting.
He's got a big sale just started at 8 o'clock.
There you go. That's what he's doing.
Yeah, because I'll probably be keeping an eye on that as well. It's his big sale for the week, apparently. So I'll be keeping an eye on that for things.
I have to confess,
the money I haven't got on.
I know there's lots of good stuff coming up because I went down there last week and helped him sort out the lockup. But I had to leave the group just because I'm already beaten by physics. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't have room to swing a cat in here because of my stupid obsession with comic books. I'm about to sell them about another dozen boxes or so. I know it's not going to make a dent in the forest. Say that again, mate.
You got no more physical room for comic books. Is that what you're saying?
Or anything, really.
Right. That's awkward. What are you going to do? What's your plan? Just stop buying or sell some? And
well, the plan is, I've got to move some stuff over to start up the new branch of the comics library tomorrow. Once I've done that, that's all of my chores and outer stuff to be done, and I've got a couple of weeks to clear. So then it's a case of going through the comics and going, am I ever going to read this again? And probably not. And then Lauren comes and picks them up.
No, you just don't know. You don't know how long you've got to live, do you? How quickly you'll be reading, it's like, it's an exact time. Those things,
Okay, yeah, fair enough. Working on the possibility that I don't get hit by a bus, right?
Yeah.
Would I want to read this again?
And with the advances in medical
science...
In fact,
that make it much easier to clear out stuff.
By the time you get to, if you just go
if I was going to read one more thing before the bus hits me, what would I want it to be?
How to avoid buses.
Yeah. Don't read while you're crossing the road. It's probably quite a good book.
Yeah, that kind of thing, yeah. So maybe we should talk about your library thing. Kyle mentioned
Bill, you look so concerned.
In passing.
What's that?
This library thing? What's this library you were talking about?
Oh,
Kyle mentioned your library thing.
I was running a bookshop in Wandsworth for a year or so, and I set up a thing called the Comics Library, where people could, the main thing was to basically give comics to kids, like give them the Marvel Adventure stuff or the DC animated stuff or whatever appropriate manga was to hand. So that way they'd have like a gateway into the medium. And then I had a fairly comprehensive list of all the comic shops in London. So if people came in and said, look, I really like that. Have you got anything like it? Like, I've got what I've got here. But if you want to go look it up properly, that's where Raygon is. That's where Forbidden Planet is. That's where Gosh is, etc., etc., etc.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing that the comics industry has failed. Well, the American comics industry has failed at since at least the mid '80s is attracting a younger audience.
I know it's not easy,
so I
but
figured
it doesn't
I'd
feel
do that.
like
And stop working in the bookshop. I'm sorry.
So it doesn't seem like they're trying very hard.
Your mic, either your mic or your distance.
I can hear you.
Well, yeah, you have. See, but manga does a really good job. Do you know what I mean? Manga has no problem being in Waterstones or even in Sainsbury's, and kids clearly have no problem reading that stuff.
Right.
So it's not that the form is damaged; it's the distribution, which is my main problem with comic specialty shops. Is that they're all full of slabbed and high-end stuff, and they've sacrificed the effort to bring in younger readers for the room and the energy to bring in that stuff so they can have a Hulk 181 or whatever. And that stuff's quite important. You know, the person who buy a Hulk 181 ain't coming back next week for Hulk 182. But the person who comes in for Saga #1 will probably come in for Saga #2.
But the problem is that people for a long time have allowed TV to be the gateway drug for comics, at least in the last 20 years, comics and manga. And they're not doing a very good job because, number one, they're not saying at the end of the broadcast, hey, you can read these comics or these manga about this. That would get kids in more. But kids go into comic stores to get comics about the series they watch. They don't go into for a new experience. And they get one, but that's not what they go in for. And TV series are not doing a good job of explaining to kids at the end of them where they can go read. And because, I mean, let's face it, they want them to be mindless zombies. I hate to say that because I've been in television for 40 years, 30 years. But it's true. And the problem is that we need to find a way to get kids into comics via television, even if that's the case, and still do something about allowing them to know about the comic book culture itself, its stores, etc.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know about that. I don't think I can see why young people don't want to go into comic shops. They're fairly awful places.
Well, over here they're very kid friendly.
Like your mate who was keeping off about slabbed comics the other day, right? The guy who was like, all the elitists don't know who Frank Brunner is. That is the epitome of everything no kid would want anything to do with.
Oh,
right?
no.
The
last thing a kid wants is to meet comic book guy from The Simpsons when they walk into a store.
Right.
I mean, let's
but
face
that
it.
Archetype
That's
is based on truth.
Hey, Mark.
Yeah.
Hi, guys.
Hey, man.
Hey.
Hello, Mark.
Mark, Nevs,
Mark.
nice and also in the chat, my mom's in there. Mom, this is my other British friend, Nevs. You know the other three guys.
So,
How was your style,
Kyle, to your right on my window, there seems to be a drawing of Charles Manson. Is that meant to be happening, or
that would be Graham.
What?
That would be the backdrop.
Good.
That'd be Graham.
All right.
That's Kyle. That's Kyle's son, Charlie M. I'm kidding.
I mean, good. That is meant to be Charles Manson or Alan Moore or both, right?
Yeah.
It's Charlie Moore.
Charlie Moore.
Me.
I don't know.
More
the Alan
Charlie.
Manson show has a nice ring to it, you know.
Yeah, outside his following. Maybe minus the bit of the homicide, but the mindless following would be quite nice. The cult following, that'd be cool. Yeah. We can just channel it into something positive rather than murdering film stars. Rather, that'd be good.
Yeah. Bring him in and kill him with your well-done poetry.
I have the haiku of death.
I think it depends on the film star, honestly. I live in fear of Justin Bieber remaking Heathers. I'm sure it will happen.
Okay.
Will he be one of the Heathers? I guess.
I think he would be one of the fat boys. Yeah.
What? What a miscast.
How was your whatnot sale, Mark?
Yeah, it was okay. people bought all the new variant stuff and none of the Silver Age stuff.
Really?
It's just frustrating. You know,
Well,
well,
Silver Age, what price was it on Silver Age?
To be fair, you probably paid less for the variants.
I paid less for the variants. Yeah, I made money on them. But, you know, it's frustrating. Yeah, it's fine. But, you know, it's just frustrating. You know, you put some amazing Spider-Man sub-100s up there at, you know, really good prices and nobody bites. Just amazing.
Pearls before swine.
Probably, the people who buy that collection probably aren't using whatnot, I'm guessing.
Yeah, I think it's new buyers. I think it's people new to comic collecting.
Yeah, possibly.
You know, and they love these new variant covers. I mean, the art, it does stand out more than the old art because the color variation is much bigger, of course. Because the old comics, it was pretty much standard. Whereas
literally
now,
full color, isn't it?
Yeah,
we're not all down with the kids like you are, Mark, and the new technology, you know.
Well, you know, variants to me are like my mom used to say. You know, you put lipstick
What
on a
did
pig.
your mom have to say
it's still a
about variant
pig.
covers, Bill?
What's that?
I said, what? Why was your mum thinking about variant covers?
I don't know. I don't know. She was forward thinking. I don't know. She wasn't talking about them precisely, but she always said, you know, you put lipstick on a pig, it's still a pig. I mean,
right.
This is my problem with covers. All my life as a comic collector is a fantastic cover, and you get to the interiors, and they've got someone like Chick Stone or somebody, you know, drawing the interiors, and it looks nothing like the fantastic Kirby cover you had on the front. That and variants just turn this into a cottage industry, which I absolutely hate. But I mean, that being said, I've seen many variant covers I'd be happy to have, but it's still like it's a sham to me, you know.
Phil, you said
I don't understand why these people don't understand how Google Images work. Like, you just like Dan Parent, right? Dan Parent's really good for saying, I've got this variant, which is a emulation of Mad Love 1, and here it is on my Facebook page. And then you right-click, download image, and then you have it, and then you just buy the regular thing. I don't understand this madness.
It's about fractional ownership of the art. So I've never heard this. Go on. Yeah, in a previous show, Bill made a throwaway comment because somebody was asking me how the whatnot was going, and I said variants sell really well. And Bill, I don't know if you remember this. You said variants are saving the comic industry. And
no,
nobody said anything.
No.
And I went away and I thought about it, and I think, well, I might have misheard you or misread you.
No, you're right.
Yeah, and I agree with you. They are. Last year, the number of variants, if you look at Comicron, which shows the sales, there were 4,000. I think there's about 4,800 new titles, and there were 12,000 variants. And if you go back 5 years, that was 5,000 and 5,000. So 4 to 5 years ago, that was one variant per comic. Now it's up to 3 variants on average per comic. People are buying those. So the amount of money going into the comic industry from variant covers, I think, is keeping the printed comic going.
It is. But I'm not, I mean, and I agree. I'm not happy about it, though, because I'm saying what we need to focus on is better content, because there just isn't great content out there anymore like there was when we were younger.
That's my comment about fractional ownership of the artwork. You go back to the 80s, you know, historically, there were the great artists out there. Only one person could own the original, but they produced limited edition prints, which you could get ownership of. If you get a David Nakayama cover, only one person, you know, well, it's on a computer, so there isn't an original.
Right.
But, you know, you can take fractional ownership, and they do a limited edition of, say, 3,000. There's only 3,000 of these. You can get fractional ownership of that original artwork by buying that comic. And that's what I think is going on. People are buying fractional ownership.
I think you're giving it more motivation than is probably in the head of the average variant buyer. I think it's Well, I won't mention his name, but there's a dealer you're probably aware of who built his entire shop on variants, and it only lasted a year. I think, to be perhaps undiplomatic about it, because it's usually men rather than women, I think it's the biggest dick. I think whoever's got the rarest variant, they win. I don't know what they win, but they've won, right? And I think that's why they pay silly money for something like that.
Interestingly, I have to
Also,
tell you,
we're obsessive, right? You say this thing exists, we want it.
Yeah, but I have to tell you, interestingly, I would have generally agreed with that, except for the fact that my top 3 buyers are women.
Yeah. Okay.
My ones who spent the most with me over the month or 2 I've been doing this, all women.
Wow.
Right.
That is a huge change.
But are these women buying variants, or are they buying runs of Strangers in Paradise?
Actually, the reason they are actually buying the Silver Age stuff. That's why in terms of money, they're the there's one in particular who buys Amazing Spider-Man sub 100s off me. Yeah.
Hey guys, my brother's actually watching with my mom, so everybody say hi, Brent.
Hi, Brent.
Hi, Brent, Mom.
Hey. Oh, are we on the show now?
But that's
happening now.
Yeah.
Are we broadcasting?
Yeah, they're watching us on TV
for 15 minutes.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
And another thing,
here's all about. It's like us just sitting around and talking about this stuff.
And Neville, Mark here is Suddenly Comics, and he is my UK comic book guy. So Mark is a guy to know, and Mark Neville is quality human being. He's a guy to know. You two need to know.
I've been stalking him since you put his information up. We've interviewed the same.
Oh, really? You put my information up?
Yeah,
I posted out some of your info to these guys.
Harry's the Strange Haven guy. So have I.
Hi, the internet. It's Wednesday, and apparently men have been stalking me on the internet. I'm Filthy Nevs.
Yeah.
So that's only Mark. He's mostly safe.
You look familiar. Like, I'm sure we've done the same shows. Like, I've worked at 30th Century, Orbital, Gosh, Comic Showcase. I've worked for Humanoids. I've helped run UCAC. I've helped run 9 Worlds, London Super Comic Con. I imagine we have about a dozen mutual friends if we bother to gob in the ocean.
You don't look old enough to have been organising UK Comic Art.
Now you're allowed to stalk me. Once you say you don't look 45, that's fine. Stalk away.
Yeah. He is the youngster of the group, but he ain't that young. I mean, he was at San Diego Comic-Con in, 96, so...
Yeah.
Oh, really? Wow, you predate me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm 2008, and I've been to everyone except for 2010 since then.
I think the one I did was enough. It's like
no,
closest to fear living Las Vegas. I think the
way
comics
worse
industry will ever get.
It went way worse.
Really?
After that. It's all Hollywood now. I mean, it's fun to attend, but it's not about comics anymore.
That's all Hollywood. Now we're all Hollywood, even though it's the majority of it's out of the UK, but it's all London now. But
we're Pinewood, not Hollywood.
Well,
yeah,
You're Pinewood?
Yeah, Pinewood, not Hollywood.
I was just about to say that. You beat me too. Oh my God. Pinewood Studios, of course, where they shot most of all of the Star Wars movies, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
See, names I told you.
Spice World.
Spice World. There you go.
Spice World.
Spice World was filmed near Ealing Broadway, which is very close to Pinewood Studios.
Oh, right. Yeah,
True
cool.
story.
And I got a daughter
That's
that age that was a
Jerry
big
Halliwell and Luke
Spice
Skywalker.
Girls fan. So.
And there used to be Ealing Studios back in the day, didn't they? The old black and white.
Ealing,
yeah.
Studios, yeah. With Passport to Pimlico, was it? Was that one of the films they did at Ealing? I think it was.
That is one of those.
Yeah.
Carry On's all there. Obviously, the greatest time of British cinema. Never been touched. Never been topped. Carry On. We should have stopped making films after that, really.
Yeah, I think we did, didn't we?
You think Justin Bieber's going to remake Carry On Matron?
There you go.
Wait. Quit it.
It's Wednesday night and I've just lost the will to live.
No, he's going to do a
Sure.
multiverse movie
Maybe
called
Eddie
Carry On
Murphy could play
Variants.
Ratty Jake's one
Carry
of
On
his
Variants.
amusing outfits.
Justin Bieber.
Carry On Variants. I'm in.
How have
I'm
we
all in.
derailed
I'll
at
play
20
Ken
minutes?
Williams. I'm in.
We've
No, let's
derailed
do
at 20 minutes. We've derailed at 20 minutes. So Nev, was I right? Didn't you just plug right in?
About
See what I'm talking about? You just fit right in here.
Oh yeah,
We
yeah.
could
yeah.
just plug you
I
right
will
in.
happily
It's
talk
like,
comics.
here you go. So
Didn't realize we were on the air, which is probably why it's a bit more natural. Again, hello the internet.
but again, this is the whole
Can I
premise
put
to
a
the
cheap plug
show.
in?
Yeah,
Huh?
go for it. Plug away.
I'm going to put a couple of cheap
Kyle, I
plugs in
don't know
while
if you've
we've
noticed
got a bit of a lull.
that there is a dragon lurking behind you.
There's a what?
A dragon lurking behind
Oh my gosh, where'd that come from?
It's one of our
Are you
Halloween
charging that thing rent?
animatronics.
I just noticed it right now. I'm slow.
One of our Halloween animatronics.
Wow, that
No.
looks great.
Nice to meet you, Mrs. Kyle.
Oh, that's so brutal.
Yeah. I'm gonna tell my wife you said that, Graham. You're gonna pay for that one.
My
Then
God,
you're
we
gonna
brought
see a
back the
flamethrower.
mother-in-law joke with a dragon.
I think
There you go.
you've gone from favourite Britain to second favourite Britain.
Yeah.
Anybody that does want to see my wife, though, the infamous waxing video.
I saw her on the waxing video. I thought she was a carer. You can't be his wife. Must be
I
a
heard-
carer. I'm thinking to myself.
About a month and a half ago, we did a pediatric brain cancer 24-hour stream, and we were talking about the 40-year-old virgin or something. Off the cuff, I went, "Hey, if somebody donates $100, I'll get waxed on a live stream." 3 minutes later, there was $100 bid in, and they're like, "Yep, you got to get your tuchus waxed." So I did, and that had to be off camera. And then I said, "So it'll be."
Oh,
on
thank
camera.
God.
You
Thank
can.
God.
I said, "So on camera, I'll let it happen to my chest too." So there's 3 patches out of my chest too.
It was funny as heck.
I mean, if you're going to do your bum, do your chest, right? It's basically the rules of waxing.
Yeah.
I was in the chat saying, "Do his nuts, do his nuts."
It's 30 minutes of me being tortured, and when Graham said base that turkey, my wife dropped everything laughing. So
Oh my God! You've not done a Tigger. Even
Yeah,
Tigger
I
is-
don't
You're
want
killing me. You're
I don't
killing
want
me.
Carson's nose, thanks very much.
yeah. So hey,
Won't be
Graham,
eating dinner now.
after the live, put a link to that and put a link to that in.
I'm gonna clip out a bit for you. I'm gonna make a symphony of those screams and use it as a clip on these
Well,
streams.
hey,
every time.
I mean, you can do it on this. You could pull up
Yeah.
like a strip of. You could pull up a quick few seconds of that just happening.
yeah,
pull
I'll
it on
have to,
here.
I'll have to do that at some point. Did you want to plug something?
I've got it. Have you still got the hair?
No, I threw it away.
Kyle, I'm obviously talking to you. Have you still got the hair that was waxed?
No, I
Yeah.
threw it away.
Ah, you should
Threw it away in
He
the
wanted,
trash.
he
already
wanted
got
to
picked
auction
up.
it off.
Yeah, I threw it away, and the trash has already been picked
I'll
up.
give you $10 not to send it to me.
Yeah.
It's like a pyramid scheme. Everyone pays you not to send you the hair.
We can find a voodoo practitioner for him to send it to. That would be all right.
And in all honesty, and I'll say it now, and I'll repeat it again on future shows, that the donation site is still open. Things can, because it goes straight to Pediatric Brain Cancer Fund, and I've got a link to that on the video. Another $100 goes in there. I've got a whole box of those. Another $100 goes in. I'll do my legs.
You also earned some money for the charity by promising Mark you wouldn't call him a bastard for a month. Has that time run out now?
Guess what ends today, you bastard?
Ray,
Sorry, man.
you reminded me.
I didn't remind him, should I? He was getting used to not calling
That
you a
ends
bastard.
today.
I had a month without him swearing at me, and you've reminded me.
One of my promises on that was Mark committed 10% of this sale. to the charity, and I'm like, that's a beautiful thing. What would it take for me to get you to pump in more? And like Mark will show amazing books he has and stuff like that. And they told me quit being nice to him because I'm always blowing smoke and being sweet. So I had to quit calling him a bastard for a month, and I did. I had to quit cussing him for a month. Now I can cuss him again. So
Yeah.
but he doubled his donation. What a great thing he did.
I'm gonna mute myself for a bit with Dad's phone in.
So worth every penny. Hold my
I've got
tongue.
this right. You will do things for money suggested by the audience.
Yeah.
Because this seems like an incredibly dangerous precedent to set here. I feel like, again, I don't want to keep on bringing up creepypasta, but this does seem like it could go wrong. I don't trust people on the internet. I've seen terrible things.
Oh,
Wow.
No.
Bill, you look so concerned. Why are you so concerned? Now you're concerned with clipboards. What's going on?
This isn't a clipboard. I'm opening a comic book that I just got in the mail today, and I wanted to share it with you guys.
Oh, what? A comic book on this show? Madness. Ooh.
I got a Frontline Combat #6, EC,
When is
and
that
I got it
from?
for a mere $40 from my friend John Guthold. It's detached, so I mean it's got some issues, but it's pretty beautiful. And for $40, I mean, hell yeah.
That's nice. Yeah. Like that.
Yeah.
Mm.
So I wanted to show it off, and look at that Kurtzman cover. Isn't that beautiful?
That's good.
And it was colored by
lovely.
Maurice Severin, of course.
Is that sort of Harvey Kurtzman from Mad?
Yeah. Yeah.
And everything any good in comics is Harvey Kurtzman.
Yeah. Yeah,
Nice.
he did but I mean you can see it's not very finished art. It's very much like his Mad stuff. It's very much like his Hey Look series, but it gets the point across, and nobody ever said it was too cartoony, which I find beautiful and amazing at the same time. So there's that. I just wanted to share it with you guys when I first got it out, but that's from my buddy John Guthold, who often puts stuff on the EC Addict site for sale like that. It's really nice.
Good stuff.
So
Well,
no,
I'm sorry. I
no, that's a good link.
With an
We were
actual
talking about
comic
ways of getting
today,
young people
but-
in, right?
yes.
Creep Show. Creep Show is on Shudder. And there was a Creep Show comic out.
Yes.
And it's one of those things that retailers should be getting behind and going, hey, there's this comic based on this really popular TV show. You should buy this. Put it in the window.
No, I know.
it's really
I think about that all the time. And Creepshow is selling. The comic is selling
Selling well. People have actually
pretty well. Yeah.
people have actually said, "Have you got Creepshow?" Yeah.
Sorry, my internet cut out there. I had a bit of a power surge or something, but
It's okay.
Yeah.
We were talking about
I will do
Creep Show.
stupid things to me. I will do stupid things to me to raise money for pediatric brain cancer. Because
I feel like
January,
we should set some limits.
Yeah, like no syringe in the skull or anything like that.
Not
Anything
on last
that
time.
winds up making you look like an EC cover. No.
pardon my French, but limits are for pussies. But
You
no,
said it, folks.
I think
Syringe
that's the
it is.
subtitle of this episode, gentlemen. I think we're there.
limits are for pussies. But
That in the final episode thing.
I've been
Geeky,
fighting two types of
please limit
cancer.
suffer pussy, says Kyle.
Yeah, I've been fighting two types of cancer for 3 years, and my doctor called me in remission, cancer-free last month. So I'm up for damn near anything.
Oh, wow.
That's great.
Rock on, Tommy.
That's fantastic.
It is. It's really good news. I mean, the however, Kyle, has Kyle sent you pictures of his tumor yet, Nevs?
Not me.
Oh,
Thank God.
Kyle,
Again,
you
am I
sent-
awake? No. I would have probably brought it up as a kind of like, hey, Kyle, thanks for sending me that picture of your tumor. How are you doing?
There you go.
Yeah.
And then I
Why did
say,
you
hey, I'm
name your-
cancer-free while I take a drag off a cigarette. So.
Why
Yeah.
did you name your tumor Larry?
I appreciate
Why
all of
Larry?
this.
Because my tumor's name is Larry. His name is Larry. He has a brother. His name is Bob.
Bill got
That's
that.
exactly what I was thinking of.
His name is Larry.
What the hell is that from?
Yeah,
It's an old Dr. Demento
Oh, you
song.
know the famous cancer musical.
My
Tumour's name is Larry. It had Liza Minnelli and Gene Kelly doing all kinds of beautiful numbers about tumours.
That's great. It's like cancer.
Speaking of cancerous tumors, how about that?
This is the best episode ever.
Justin Bieber is an ass cancer that dances.
Has anyone got any comics they want to talk about?
Oh, I've got one.
Well, I do, but I just feel I don't know how to follow the singing tumour.
I've got Stan Lee's How to Draw Comics, which is great considering Stan Lee, I don't think ever drew a comic in his life.
That's true. That's a good point.
It's actually not bad.
Is it different to How to Draw Comics the Marvel way?
Oh
yeah, it really is. Okay.
No, this is 2010, so he updated it. So
who does the art in it?
So not John Buscema with a light box.
I'm not guessing. Not saying
allegedly.
Neil Adams, Gil Kane, Mike Diodato, Frank Cho, and Jonathan Lau. So he's updated it with Alex Ross and like that. It's not bad.
It takes some doors to print an art book with your name on it, and you haven't done a lick of the artwork in it.
It's just marketing, isn't it? It's not bad. It
does just look like a collection of clip art that's quite good. Does it have any explanation on how to draw?
I mean, how to draw the Marvel way is at the beginning. So there is some sort of instructions.
Okay, doesn't seem like an awful lot.
Okay, cool.
I thought it was an instructional book, so I was going to say you got to knock us up a few.
And it shows you what you need to draw with. You need a pencil, you need some paper.
So we'll give you a challenge for next week, then, Mark. Yeah, we'll give you a challenge. We'll work on a challenge for next week.
The pencils and pens.
Absolutely. So you have to turn out a cover that looks as good as an Alex Ross cover, only using that book. By next week.
You might struggle.
So, and speaking of Neil Adams and Neil Adams books, Bill, show Nevs your Neil Adams book that you wrote with him.
Let me go get it.
Oh, okay. This sounds good.
I am a constant show. It never goes away. I am constantly pimping somebody something. So,
well, you got men to stalk me on the internet, so I believe you.
There you go, Nevs.
There you go. That's his book.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, it is.
And you see right there under Neil's name is Bill's name. There we go.
That's available from
way down there.
It's available from Bill, basically.
No, you can get it on Amazon. I bought mine off Amazon.
Available from all good stockies, so long as it's Amazon or Bill.
I'd rather get it from Bill. I mean, Amazon is Amazon.
Well, I have to tell y'all something funny. Alex sent me a bunch of the other books he's put out, and two of them, I can even show them if you want to see, but they had this green moldy stuff all over them. And three of the books were fine, but the two on the bottom, which were the two I really was looking forward to reading, one on Howard Chaykin and one on David Anthony Kraft, and they were coated in this stuff. And I just don't know how that could happen at Amazon, but I mean, it's books for crying out loud.
Storage is rubbish.
It's got damp and some molds growing on it.
Take them back.
Yeah,
I'm saying.
Yeah, he's sending me two more, but I feel like I ought to tell Amazon too. But I'll show them to you in a minute after I get it in my stomach. Then I'm gonna have to pick them up. But no, it was just a weird thing. But I have to say this.
Show us the mold. Show us the mold. Show us the mold.
Okay.
The mold.
They broke the mold after they made.
Show us your moldy underbooks, huh? Is that what we're calling it? showing us your moldy underbooks?
Why not?
So Nav, are you still working at a comic book thing? Are you still comic industry related?
Oh, that's a handy thing. So, do you know what? We'll wait until we've seen the mold, and I'll answer the question.
Oh, that is horrible. Yeah.
Oh,
And the black dots are more mold.
Yeah, don't let them get you near your other comics.
Oh
Yeah,
no.
wow,
And
that's
very
effective.
little on the Howard, and I do want to read I want to read both of these. They're both great books. So
How did they manage to blinking package them up without noticing that?
I have no idea.
I suppose they're doing it so quickly they don't pay attention. I suppose.
Honestly,
although I will say one of my most clueless of friends works at a Amazon distribution center. So if he's any indication, I can see how it could happen.
that happened in the printing process.
Really?
That happened before it rolled out. That got wet or damp after they printed.
But
Yeah.
I'm glad I could share my mold with everyone today. Thank you,
Yeah.
Nevs.
Thank
See,
you.
if Nevs hadn't been here, we wouldn't have gone
Thank
that
you.
route.
It's a unique experience.
It is. It's all about the
All right.
mold.
Well, speaking of moldy undercarriages, back to you, Nevs. Let's do it.
Ow!
Call the fucking show
That's
moldy
cool, but
undercarriages,
funny.
or I will.
Quite funny.
I didn't ask that question. My tumor Larry did.
Damn it, Larry. Can
Oh
you
my god, this is like the ultimate two-faced extension.
You never know
You're
what
like
Larry's
super hard
going to say.
I don't want to kill you. Larry's making me do it.
Oh, if we weren't worried about it,
So,
if we weren't worried about a copyright strike, you should pull up a bit of "My Name Is Larry."
Oh, that's a great
Oh,
song.
Bill.
I'm sure nobody will mind.
if I knew it, I'd say we could perform it right here, but I don't.
It's
That does sound like a tumor singing. I'm not gonna lie.
It does. It actually does. The song
All right.
is his tumor.
Nevs, it's your platform, buddy. What are you going to tell us about?
Oh, right. Okay. So, back in the midst of time, 30 seconds ago, Mark asked me if I'm working in a comic book shop, giving me the opportunity to tell you, the internet, live, exclusively. You will hear it here first. For
Another
those of you who are
exclusive
into
on
the
our
comics
show.
library, Kyle, shut your tumor up for 2 seconds. I ran the comics library, and we had to close it down for reasons that I don't need to get into here. It's all a bit awkward and a bit Kirby Stanley. However, I have a new venue for it. Tomorrow, I will be moving the stock and the furniture to its new location in Oxfam, in Elsfield, South London. The directions are literally this. Come out of Elsfield Station, turn left, walk a little bit, and you'll see all the comics in the window. Should be open in the next couple of weeks or so. So examples of things I put in the previous thing. My favourite comic of the moment, and it's kind of motivated by the fact that Gilbert Hernandez is coming to London in May, the day after my birthday, because clearly Gilbert did it because of that reason.
Yeah.
What day in May?
Drama Illustrated. He's doing MCM from the 26th to the 28th of May. So people who are stalking me, the 25th, my birthday, and that's where you should send presents to on that day via the channel, right? Gift cards on Steam, right? So Steam,
I'm 6
Drama
days
Illustrated
behind.
is Gilbert Hernandez.
I'm May 19th.
You're 6 days behind me. No wonder we're out of sync on this video.
I'm a few years too, but I'm May 19th.
I'll do the punchline again. No wonder we're out of sync on this video.
That's right.
No.
Yeah.
I'm trying.
Yeah.
I'm trying, ladies and gents.
You're doing a fine job.
Laughing, and that validifies the bit. Psychodrama Illustrated is basically Gilbert Hernandez filling in for the fact that Jamie Hernandez doesn't draw that quickly, so we only get New Love and Rockets once a year or so. So this is all the side characters. If you are familiar with Gilbert, you know he's been doing the story of Palomar and Luba and her daughters and her granddaughters. This is a couple of his daughters. I can't really sum up the comic any other way than this. naked lasses with huge boobs commit crime and have sex. That's all this comic is. And it's great. Issue 5 just came out a few weeks ago.
Kyle's down there applauding like a
I
seal.
had this in the week.
It's one of those. It's one of those.
Kyle, this is my spare copy. I'm quite willing to donate it to you. In fact, that's my donation. Enjoy this comic as a congratulation for beating the cancer and not having the tumor sing for the rest of the show.
Yeah.
I'll try. I'll try, but I have no control over it.
Yeah, that didn't stop Bill though.
Yeah, the comics library will be reopening sometime
What are you sending me?
early March.
Okay.
That's my shtick over.
Okay.
Part one of the shtick. There will be later shtick.
Check direction again.
How does it work then? People just go in, like kids just go in and say, "Can I borrow a comic?" and then they have to take it back afterwards.
Which underground station do I come out of?
No, I only use the word library to give it the prestige. Under the rules of that book, the shop I was running before, like I could just give away comics because we literally gave away books. Because it's Oxfam, I'm probably going to have to charge, but it's me like nothing. It's me like 10 pence or something.
Right.
And I've already got about 9 boxes of stuff ready to go out.
Wow.
Say that again, Gary.
Right.
Which
Right.
Yeah, you know, this plan is get the comics to a younger audience.
Yeah, that's Gray or Graham, not Gary.
Nevs, which underground station do I come
I'm
out
sorry.
of? Turn left. Elstree, did you say?
Earlsfield Station.
Elsfield.
I would love it to be Elm Street. I would absolutely love to have a shop on Elm Street, but no, it is Earlsfield, which is on the
Nevs'
southern
Nightmare on
railway
Elm
line.
Street.
It's like
Elsfield.
Stop it, or people will be looking for my shop in like Freddy Krueger's house.
Yeah, there you go. Hey, Nevs, here's one for you.
Earlsfield Station, which is like 2 stops long from Clapham Junction.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So
you
when
get
it's
yourself
Freddy
to Clapham
Krueger's glove,
Junction,
it's
you're
like
basically
comics in near meat when he's got that glove on.
Yeah. So, Nevs, it's the ass cancer that I beat. So if I stand up and lean forward and my ass starts talking, that's Larry.
Yeah.
Well,
This is always a good way to start a story. Yeah, please carry on.
Yeah.
Kyle.
How can we tell the difference between you talking out your ass and talking out your mouth, Carl?
My name is Larry.
No, you promised not to do that.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't.
I
My
swear to
name
God, if
is
anyone takes screen grabs of
Larry.
this,
I'm trying to do the gray man twerk, but I don't have the moves that he does.
Exactly.
On that same show, Graham did a drinking bit and then did a twerk. So it's a must see.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't say that.
Don't challenge me, Kyle. I have no shame. I'm the man without shame. I'm basically Matt Murdock in a Metabarons t-shirt.
Yeah, I'll definitely challenge you with that one.
Oh, yeah. Metabarons t-shirt.
What are Metabarons?
Proper good comics.
Okay, never heard of them.
Sorry?
So I've never heard of Metabarons.
They are a spin-off concept from Halandro Jodorowsky's The Incal. The Incal is probably the best story ever, like, created in comic form, drawn by Mebius.
I've never heard of that either.
And the Metabarons are... The Incal! Oh, I'm so jealous of you. Because I wish I'd not read it yet. Because it's in print by Humanoids. Well, my copy's behind. Like, do you know what? Entertain yourselves for 2 minutes, gentlemen. I'm going to go rummaging my bookshelves to find the Incal.
Okay, hold on. I got to shut my camera off when I do it.
Right.
Okay. I'm in.
Yeah, don't entertain yourself like that, Kyle. When he said entertain yourself, he meant in conversation, not in whatever.
Hey, when he gets back, highlight Jackson's statement when he gets back. He's going to get a big kick out of that.
I didn't get it. His butt will fall off like
You know I
Opus.
can hear you, right?
Do you see the
Just
thing
because
that says,
you can't see me on
"Hey,
camera doesn't mean I can't hear what you're saying."
read what the statement from the thread is there."
His butt will fall off
I'm
like
absolutely
Opus.
not doing that.
No, but see, when I said my butt will get up and sing, now he knows. Nevs knows what Opus is because he's seen my Bloom County collection. So Jackson's actually making a reference to good old Bloom County and Opus the Penguin. So
What does
if
that make
anybody's
me?
really
Bill the
bored,
cat?
Peter,
Right.
Great.
Can I just ask
Great.
if we speak English on this
Yeah,
show?
great. I think you
We're
and
not
I.
multilingual. I don't understand a word half people saying. I don't know what's going on. My brain's just not working.
I don't know.
the way
Maybe in a
they-
little bit, I'll pull out my Opus collection here. in a little
I'm
bit.
searching, songs called "My Name Is Larry the Tumor" and I can't find it.
It's not the tumor. It's My Name Is Larry by Wild Bill something or other.
Not this Wild Bill. Another Wild Bill.
The Incal.
Let's have a look at that then. Let's have a look at the Incal.
Oh, it's Mobius.
Oh, I
So
love that.
this is Kalendro Jodorowsky of El Topo and the Holy Mountain Writing, and Mebius of everything drawing. I first read this because my local library had it in their kids section in like the mid-90s, where they shouldn't have. So this is the camera
It's
doesn't really
phenomenal.
do its work justice.
It's
But
phenomenal.
It's one of my favorite
It's
artists.
just gorgeous. If you are new to this, you probably most know him as the guy who designed The Fifth Element for Luc Besson with the movie with. It's the one with what's her face, Mila Jovovich running around in white straps because
Yeah.
Luc Besson designs things like that. So the story is the story of a chap called John DeFool, who is a detective who is commissioned to find a thing called the Incal. It is the same story that Jodorowsky has been writing forever, which is essentially the transition from sinner to saint. He also did it in a book called Son of the Gun. This is being turned into a movie with the guy who made one of the 4 movies. He's got a funny name that begins with a K or something. And the trailer
gonna be
for the
animated,
movie
though,
is literally
right?
just Jodorowsky explaining. I don't know is my actual answer, but it's
Okay, I believe it's going to be.
the trailer is him
I believe
explaining that he would love to make the movie of this.
Let's do it.
Go on.
I've heard good thing. I've heard it's already in production.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you heard me.
The only thing I've seen is the trailer where he's explaining that basically he's not going to live to see the end of the movie because he's too old.
Oh my
Otherwise,
gosh.
he would have made it. So that's why he's turned it over.
Oh wow!
That's the trailer. Do you know what I mean? That's it. It's just him sitting explaining, but listening to Jodorowsky speak for 3 minutes. It's the closest as me, an avowed atheist, will ever get to spiritual pureness because the dude is just so full of good ideas. He is. I genuinely consider him the best comic writer there's been.
He almost made the
Just because
first
there's no
version
such
of the
thing
Dune.
as
Of Dune.
Jodorowsky.
Did you know that?
Yes.
Yeah, a lot of
I
people
did know
don't know
that.
that. But he
it's
had the
out-
rights to
it's out
Dune
there,
before David Lynch got a hold of it. Which I love Lynch's version. Not many other people do, but I loved it.
He doesn't.
Lynch?
It's David Lynch's great regret. All of his work subsequent to that is basically him being angry at himself for taking the studio's advice rather than going with his gut over the movie.
Right.
It's the
Well,
only
no,
thing I've
that's
seen
true.
Lynch get
That's
angry about
true.
is how pissed off he is.
That's true. And Kyle MacLachlan wound up being kind of the version of himself he wanted to see projected on film. In a lot of, if you look at the two of them together, they look very similar, and it's very interesting.
Yeah, he's like the De Niro to his Scorsese, right?
Yes, exactly. Very good analogy. Yes, exactly. So I have to agree.
I've just noticed
where
that
did
Kyle
Kyle
isn't
go?
there, and there's a dragon glaring at me.
I know.
Kyle's turned into a dragon.
One shudders to speculate, Bill. You know, it's like,
I think
the
that's
options
Larry.
are multitude and probably frightening.
Yes, I'll say. I think
Is
the
Larry
dragon
singing
is
from the
Larry,
negative
the
zone?
tumor. Larry the tumor.
Oh my god,
For Kyle.
Larry
It's so wrong.
the tumor dragon.
It's so wrong.
This has got. Now we've gone into David Lynch territory.
Oh yeah, God.
Well, I know David Lynch. I have a signed Eraserhead poster from him, and when I was first starting
I'm sorry,
out,
what? You know David Lynch?
Yeah, it was weird. We became friends. We talked a couple times on the phone. He was helping me when I first started making my film shorts after I'd been making commercials for years, but he understood what a dilemma I was in, and he gave me some of the best advice I've ever had. So, yeah, he's a wonderful human being. He's what you see is what you get. One of his biggest regrets in life is Isabella
Rossellini.
I don't know why I blanked out on her name, but she wanted to be with him very much in the 80s when they made Blue Velvet, and he apparently spurned her affections, and he's regretted it ever since. So,
Okay.
but he's a sweet guy. His vision is amazing.
Not my
The thing, if you really want to see, and I was friends with him when he started doing commercials again. He started doing PlayStation commercials in his style, and oh my God, they freaked everybody out. But they actually, made sales go up. So I mean, there's a lot to David Lynch. I mean, his stuff seems like it's not even from this
No, I
plane
love
of
the guy. I
existence.
think he's a genuine genius.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah,
Probably one of the greatest
favorite movies.
What's
yeah,
that?
that's a pile of crap. That film, absolutely.
Mulholland Drive. I absolutely
So
love it.
down that film was. Nice lesbian scene.
I
Everything
love
else-
Mulholland Drive.
everything
Yeah,
else
me too.
is- Fuck off on that movie.
It's
Honestly,
great.
rubbish movie.
I know I
Speaking of
disagree
Twin
about
Peaks,
this. I like
Well,
it's
you
a
know what?
spin-off that was meant to be the story of Audrey Horne in Hollywood.
Yeah, well, it was 3
That's
episodes
what Audrey was
of a
meant to do after
series.
season 2.
He was greenlit for a series.
Yeah.
And he shot approximately 3 episodes. Then he went back and shot more material to fill in the blanks so he could make it one story. But of course, it's disjointed, and because it was telling an even bigger story that would have played out over several seasons. So yeah, I mean, but the movie no one ever talks about it, which I love, was Lost Highway. Have you ever seen that?
I don't think
Which
I
is
have.
also
I
a
mean,
Twin Peaks movie.
Oh,
Yeah,
fantastic.
I was in Los Angeles and saw the movie at the cinema there.
Oh wow! Yeah, it's
And I bought the same
Mark. You need to watch it.
Tells you how
It's fantastic.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen that. I love David
It's his take on the whole OJ thing, which is kind of crazy when you think about it. But it's someone having to reinvent themselves after they commit a horrible murder. And it's right, Nevs, in a nutshell. That's kind of it.
Yeah. What I was going to say was just to drag this back to
Robert
comics
Blake
a bit.
is in it, strangely
David
enough.
Lynch did a comic.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's fantastic.
David Lynch did a comic called The Angriest Dog in the World, which is literally, it's the same strip. It's just a dog barking at a tree, and it just zooms in and in on its face. I think he did like 40 or 50 of these with different dialogue of people talking while the dog's barking. It was published in English in a Dark Horse European compilation comic called Cheval Noir, which also had loads of good stuff by Jeff Darrow, and Dave Stevens did a load of covers for them. There was loads of stuff by Paul Chadwick.
Yeah.
I'm really surprised they've not been collected into one book. You know what I mean? Because like, if you don't know about Cheval Noir, you wouldn't know to look for it. It's one of those things that someone has to say to you, by the way, did you know there's a Moebius poster in issue 7 or something, you know?
Oh, man, that's terrific, dude. Well, that's a hell of a piece.
Oh, here we go. I know, right?
That would be Opus. I'll find
we are all staring at Kyle's penguin right now.
My name is Opus.
Yeah, don't encourage him, Nevs. He doesn't need encouraging.
I feel like I'm in a
I don't think I can encourage the man. I think he's incorrigible. He's a force of nature beyond any encouragement. He's just going to do what he's going to do, and we're here for the ride.
I know.
Kyle, why is your nickname Silver Knight? What's the origin of that?
It's my old company name, my old entertainment company name.
That's his old pole dancing company
Oh.
name when he used to dance on poles.
Is that how you met the
Oh,
dragon?
wow.
This is me and Burke.
Wow. That's awesome.
Bert who?
Burke Breathed, the guy that does
Oh,
Bloom
Bert.
County.
I'm sorry, I heard Bert.
Bloody
I was
Yeah.
looking for Bert Ward, TV's Robin.
I've got a stack of these. I've got a stack of these books signed to me. But the best part of all of it is right there.
Oh, he signed the
Oh,
record
that's a
too. Wow. You
Signed
stink,
to
but I
You
love
Stink,
you.
But I love you. And on the other side of I'm a Boy.
I'm a
That
boinger.
record is amazing.
Billy and the Boingers.
And I want to find the one where he flosses his butt off that Jackson was talking about. Jackson talked about that in his thread, and I could come across the comic strip where he flossed his bottom off. So, what do you think of that, Jackson?
Wasn't that a cover? One of the books.
Oh man, yeah, it's all over on these things, but yeah, it's on the cover. I think it's on the cover of one of them, but not the ones I got down here. But Jackson actually referenced it, so I was like, all right, I need to go get my Bloom counties. And I need to fish out the pear pimples for hairy fish nuts, but I think I need to just go to the big one to do that.
Harry Fishnets.
I have no idea what people who've never seen Bloom County think you're saying. I know what the titles of the books are, so what you're saying makes sense to me, but God knows what
Pear
they're making.
pimples for
your
hairy fish
particular-
nuts.
About
But
40.
yeah, there's the
Says,
standing with me. That's not another picture of him and I. That's him and his dog. So
Who is he?
he was a comic strip artist here in the States. He actually does it again.
He still
actually-
is. He just
Yeah,
does
he
it
still
straight on
does.
Facebook and doesn't worry about censors or anything anymore. Which is still kind of a
And then you
mixed
just
bag.
is
in
it
a way.
IDW publishing the collections?
Yeah, and he's coming out. There's a
I
cartoon.
know
coming-
IDW did the first collection of Facebook strips.
Yeah, there he's about to put out a full cartoon of it again. So there will be a cartoon this year.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah,
I'll
this
look
year.
forward to that.
If you want to see anything on video, you have to look up A Wish for Wings That Work.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's a great Christmas story.
I got a thing in there. It's got Robin Williams as a voice in it. Oh,
shall I show some comics?
Sorry.
Shall I show
Yeah.
you?
Yeah,
Okay.
go for it. Go for it.
Yes,
Okay.
show us some comics, Mark.
Here's some comics that I didn't sell in my whatnot.
Oh, is that man's here?
So this is
Beyond's
Marvel Premiere presents Bloodstone. This is the first
Number one,
Ulysses Bloodstone,
Yeah,
number 1 and 2.
that's the
So-
two before the.
He's the dad of Elsa Bloodstone.
Yeah. I think his daughter's got hot or something. His daughter's.
Yeah,
I was just enjoying
Yeah.
Batman Beyond upstaging you there. I'm sorry.
Sorry, it wasn't on
okay.
purpose.
So that I knew what was going on.
Batman Beyond kept making cameo appearances while you're.
well,
Sorry.
let's see. Batman's Beyond. Is Batman's Beyond is Batman?
Batman's Beyond.
Mm.
Sorry, Mark. I wasn't trying
It's
to.
not a
interrupt
noun.
you.
Kyle.
So,
Fair.
how much were you looking for that first Bloodstone there, Mark?
So the two of them I offered for 10 quid and nobody took them.
What?
Really?
Yeah, that's
Stop
crazy.
modesty.
Way
Can I
on-
see those again?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I was too busy playing with my action
Yeah,
figure.
yeah, I put them both up for 10 quid and nobody took them. that one, Amazing Spider-Man number 93, I put up at 30 quid. Nobody took it.
What?
Yeah, 91, in really nice condition, 30 quid, no takers.
And what was the Bloodstone you were talking about?
It's the first appearance.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
I'm surprised, man. I'll pick that up from you if no one else will.
Yeah,
you know why? Because he's big again. He's in the MCU.
Yeah, he is big. Yeah, because his daughter has got big.
Yeah,
he was in the Halloween edition.
Yeah, which is one of my favorite things in the MCU of all time.
Yeah, and admittedly, it was his funeral.
Wasn't it great?
It was fantastic. It was the best thing Marvel did, the best thing they did last year.
I think so too. And you know, so the guy
Elseworld you're talking about, or what are you talking about?
Well, this is Elsa's father.
Yeah.
So, and it was his funeral. They were all at. So he made an appearance sort of after his death, didn't he? Because he gave a speech, which he.
What was he?
They made him into like an animatronic.
Yes, that's right.
His body, and so he spoke to everybody, even though it was his corpse.
Yeah. What program are you talking about?
So it's on. It was on the
Werewolf by Night.
Werewolf by Night Halloween special. So it was. So what happened is Ulysses Bloodstone had died, and all the monster hunters were invited to his sort of castle,
right?
In order to try and see who was going to get the Bloodstone.
Right.
And they adhered the Bloodstone to Man-Thing, aka Ted.
Yeah.
And what Jack Russell, great name, right?
Yeah.
What Jack Russell, aka Werewolf by Night. That's the most tongue-in-cheek alter ego Marvel will ever give anyone.
Yeah.
But Jack Russell is there to rescue Man-Thing.
Yeah.
And he's there to rescue his friend Ted, which if you're a comic nerd like us, you immediately knew it was Man-Thing.
Yeah.
And it was black and white. It had some color to it, not a lot, but it was great.
Yeah, it was the best thing they did last year. It's the best thing they've done ever, probably. Anyway, so yeah, that's hot, and it just didn't fly.
Wow.
What's the retail? What's the recommended retail on that then?
Sorry?
What's the recommended price on that one? And what's the guide price?
It's about a sort of £15 to £20. It has gone a lot higher than that. But, the market's dropped recently. So
how much is 10 quid?
$12.
About $12.
That's not bad. That's wonderful.
So this is
look at that one.
73. It's in pretty poor shape. I put this up £10, $12. Nobody took a sub 100 Spider-Man. Even in this sort of condition, this is $30-$40.
Wow. Yeah, it's just not the right crowd, mate. I reckon it's just
I know. They wanted to vary. It's Fantastic Four, Jack Kirby, Fantastic Four number 3, 10 quid. I put that up for. No takers.
What? That's a beautiful issue too.
Yeah, and this one, this is actually one of my favorites. Is I actually picked up 2 copies of this. The only reason I was selling this because I collect detectives. But this is Detective Comics 333. Carmen Infantino doing Elephant cover. I think it's just great.
It is a great cover.
How much was that going for?
I put that for a tenner.
A tenner?
Yeah. And it's really good. It's in pretty good.
Nobody hit?
Nobody bought it.
What?
Can I bid now for that one for a tenner?
You can, yeah.
I'll buy it off you for a tenner.
You can have it, mate. I've got.
I see how this works.
Hey, Mark, I'll
that
buy
one
that
I needed.
Bloodstone from you. Will you sell that to me?
Which one?
The Bloodstone?
Yeah, well, yeah.
Okay, yeah. Put it to the side. Let me wait until I stack a few, but I'll buy them all at once if that's cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
This one. So this is Tales to Astonish 67. You've got Steve Ditko on Hulk. And he's still got Giant Man here, so Namor hasn't arrived yet. Really nice and pretty decent shape as well.
But look at that Kirby cover. It's eloquent. Look at that Hulk. You've
That's
seen that
Ditko.
pose a million times.
That Hulk is Ditko.
The Hulk is Ditko.
What?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that is Ditko. Yeah,
Oh my God!
yeah.
I thought the cover of this was Kirby.
No, that's Ditko on Hulk.
Wow!
Hulk,
It looks so
on
Kirby
the other
to me.
side is Kirby, but
Wow, that's fantastic.
yeah, issue 6 of the Hulk comic, and then the first 8 or 9 appearances there in Tales to Astonish was.
Oh, I always loved his Hulk.
So yeah.
I
So what was that going for, Mark?
His Hulk, his
About
inks on the Hulk.
15 quid.
Yeah, you need to put that in the Kyle pile, Mark. For real.
Kyle pile.
You need to put that in the Kyle. For real.
Kyle pile.
I need that.
And the Nevs
I
pile.
need that.
And then I did a couple of surfers. VG minus, but that's volume 1 of Silver Surfer.
Nice.
And I said, look, guys,
That's a fantastic cover.
you're either in for this, or you're not in for this. This is probably a 4.0. It's probably a VG minus. And I said 40 quid. No takers,
No.
I
I
do
suppose
love-
the economy ain't great at the moment. People are having trouble paying their electric bills and shit. So
They were happy to pay 15 quid for a
brand
a
new.
cover by Adam Hughes.
And how many variants did you sell? I'm kidding.
I sold quite a lot of variants.
Ooh, good comics. Good comics.
This is
Describe the cool comic.
a Batman Adventures 28. Now, this is the second time that Harley Quinn appears in Batman Adventures. Of course, the first time she appears is, I think you've got this, haven't you, Gray? In
12.
Batman Adventures number 12.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's like her 3rd appearance after like Mad Love. So.
You're pretty close, Kyle. It's her 4th appearance.
Wow.
The second appearance was in the colouring book, wasn't it? There was a colouring book, which is supposed to be officially her second appearance.
Yeah, then there's Mad Love, and this is her 4th. This is Harley Quinn's 4th appearance.
Yeah. No one interested.
Second appearance in the animated, in this sort of run.
Yeah.
And what number 12 goes for is crazy. And I put this up at a tenner and nobody bought it.
Wow. Shocking.
Surprising.
Hey, what do you guys think about Lady
hold on.
Gaga playing Harley Quinn in the next Joker
Oh,
movie?
brilliant.
I think it's great. I do too. And
I've only seen her in American Horror Story in Sin City 2, but I think she's quite a good actress.
She's a good actress.
fantastic.
And she'll look the part as well.
Say
Oh
that again.
yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean, don't get
I'm
me wrong.
looking
I
forward
thought
to it.
Margot Robbie was great, but if you're going to replace Margot Robbie with anybody,
Right.
Lady
Yeah.
Gaga.
And
So I'm going to hit you up with this because I don't know this. Is the Joker movie, the Todd Phillips one, in the same continuity as the Suicide Squad stuff? Or is
No.
is the Joker
No,
its
no.
own
It's
timeline,
his
which is
own
now getting
thing.
a sequel?
totally different.
Right.
The
okay.
Matt
Well-
Reeves Batman and the Joker series are outside the DCEU. All the rest of it's tied together.
Right. Here we
I
go.
have to
This is
say,
this is this is the Superman mullet cover. Look at his haircut.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I love that.
Superman with a mullet.
Man.
This is one of the better covers on this run of Batman Adventures.
Well,
Just great.
in context, that shortly after Superman came back from being dead, and when he came back, he had long hair, and so basically, the Superman and the Batman animated series continuity is different than the Superman and the Superman animated series continuity, and so they tried to make him as much like the comic book current Superman in the Batman animated series continuity, that when he did make an appearance, he had long hair.
Okay, that's interesting.
Do you know, I think I just found the key to why kids don't like comics.
Confusion.
Right. Exactly.
This is why kids should like comics. This Batman Adventures run.
Those
and
are the comics that kids should be reading. Or should
Yeah,
we
these
sell
are
to
the ones
kids
we
anyway?
should do it. And the Batman, we don't do these anymore. They don't do these anymore. You know,
That's too bad.
And you know, and Batman Beyond the comic.
I beg to differ.
What did you say?
There he is, Batman Beyond.
Hold on.
He's back. That's actually from the Warner Brothers Studio stores from like over 20 years ago now.
That's really great. I really like that.
Yeah, see, and it's like about a foot tall.
Oh, look, his wings fold back as well.
Yeah, the wings come back and forth. He can move around, you know. But they had bins of these, and that was what was so funny is they were selling them in these fake barrels, and it's all these Batman Beyonds just sticking out like it's a commodity or something. It was funny.
It's a great design, isn't it? I think it's such a good design, that Batman Beyond.
Oh, I think so too. And the fact that it's so good, they made it part of his DC canon. I think that speaks a lot.
It does.
You know, I really do. And I loved it. I thought as far as Beyond the Batman animated series, that was the best follow-up series. Nevs, what you got? Bring anything?
So I'm going to cut in with Batman stuff.
Yeah,
One,
good.
they are still doing the animated thing.
Oh, okay.
This is
Oh,
like
they
really
are.
recent.
Oh, good.
This is Batman: The Adventures Continued.
Oh,
this
yeah.
was published-
Yeah.
La, la, la. But the reason I bring this up is I hadn't actually read any new DCs for quite a while, because once Convergence happened, I went, do you know what? I don't know. I don't want to know. I'm done. I'm finished. As soon as Dan Didio said that the Flashpoint was the end of the DC universe, I was like, cool, then I don't need to read it anymore. But I was at the comic show a couple of weeks ago and went, maybe I've been a bit harsh. So I did pick Batman Adventures because it's very good. And if you have children who might like Batman, they should read this. It's really good.
Yeah.
However, if you're an adult, right, and you're an old idiot like us, the Joker, the man who stopped laughing, the main story is fantastic. But the backup story is drawn by one of my favorite artists, Francesco Francavilla. And the whole thing, now I'm missing stuff here because I don't know what's going on, but apparently there are 3 Jokers now. And one of them is an immortal who can be killed. So the Francavilla thing, which you can see there, is obviously like 70s silly Joker comic stuff. The whole shtick is basically the Joker keeps on committing crimes so he can try to pull various women from the DC universe. So in this issue, he's going after Power Girl. In subsequent issues, he goes after Big Barda. He goes after other women of the DC universe. But it's just so silly. And my favorite reference, I think it's in this issue.
You say you're trying to pull it.
Is that whenever the Joker hits somebody, the sound effect is Todd. It's like Todd, which I assume we all know is the famous crowbar scene where America voted to kill a child by the Joker killing Robin with a crowbar. Remember that, America? You voted to kill a child.
Yeah,
never forget.
True.
No, it was just one guy left his phone running all night.
I really hate Jason Todd, and I don't care how big my phone bill is. That sounds like every American I've spoken to. Sorry about my impression, but it's just accurate.
Are you impersonating rude Americans?
This is
yeah, that's my Florida accent. You may have heard it before. Hello, I'm from Florida.
very convincing. Well done.
Yeah, uncanny that
Thanks.
was. Really uncanny.
And here's my Texas accent.
These are really
may I say?
popular. This is a hip hop variant.
Don't focus on me. Go to the Hulk. Go to the
No,
Hulk.
I'm not pointing. You have got to switch it over. You have to drag
What
it
is
over.
this?
Right, this is a hip hop variant. So they did
We've
about 3 or 4 or 5 years ago. They did hip hop variants. So these covers were all copies of hip hop cover albums, or sort of homages to them.
We knew with your knowledge of hip hop, Bill, you'll be able to identify it for us.
Yeah, can you tell us? This is D-Mod Modern something or other Fantasy something, disc 2. Anyway, this one is crazy expensive. So this is Hulk 1 with the She-Hulk on it. I'm actually quite pleased this didn't sell. I put this up for 25 quid, which is actually about, this sells for 40 to 50 quid raw. And graded, this sells for $200 to $300. So I'm just going to send this off for grading.
I don't get it.
Wow, that's beautiful.
I know everyone's got their own taste and style of collecting and so forth, but I can't see everyone will pay 200 quid for that when they could get a nice old blinking.
Yeah, well, it's like this one as well. You know, another hip hop variant. This is White Future DS2 homage.
Okay.
We'll take your word for it.
I could have said anything, couldn't I? And none of you would have known any of that.
No,
Like the Tim Westwood of comics, Mark. You really have.
Yeah.
I bought a comic the other day, and it came in. It was I think I paid £2 for it, and it had another comic tucked in behind it. I don't think the guy who sold it even knew it had another comic tucked in behind it. And the comic tucked in behind it was this.
Okay.
Now, yeah, this this is Volume 1, Number 3, first print, the first appearance of Hit Girl.
Oh,
Whoa!
This sells for loads.
Yeah, I imagine.
Yeah, so I put this up for 30 quid today. And to be honest with you, I'm glad nobody took it, because graded, this sells for 200 to 300.
Shit!
Yeah.
That's nuts!
Yeah.
That sounds crazy.
This is Mike
300
Millar.
quid for one comic.
Yeah, but that's the first
My Xbox is 300 quid.
appearance of Hit Girl. And it's pretty good
And
shape.
a whole Xbox and have change for 300 quid.
Yeah, yeah.
You could probably go to the pub after.
You can have this one. You can have this one cheaper than the Xbox. So Team Marvel, Team Up, Captain Marvel, put that up for £3. Nobody wanted it. Monica Rambeau. And this
It's
one,
cheaper than an Xbox. I'll grant you that. That's fair.
that is cheaper than Xbox. This one, I can't believe didn't go. This is a classic J.G. Jones cover of Supergirl. Absolutely glorious. I only put this up because it's a duplicate. I've got 2 of these.
That's gorgeous.
It is absolutely fantastic. J.G. Jones art on this is just...
Is that a variant?
No. Yes, there were 2 covers.
It was a 50-50 split. There were 2 covers, but it was like a 50-50 thing.
Yeah, that's right. There was 50-50. There was 2 covers.
I remember what I got for that. I think I got like just plain. I think wasn't the other covers just like plain red band.
Yeah. It's just
or something like
Yeah.
the red band down here and down here.
Yeah.
It's interesting that she's in the 70s costume.
Yeah. So this is a really great J.G. Jones. Look at this up. It's
Gorgeous cover. I love that.
absolutely gorgeous. And this sells for good money. And I put this up for $7. They just don't know what they're looking at.
Yeah.
I'm trying to finish off the first two Supergirl runs, but I never see them. Just never see them anywhere. I've got to hunt them out on eBay if I want to get them properly.
Then we've put up this Web of Spider-Man number 90. Look at this. This is great 90s goodness. I don't know if you can even see that.
Oh, yeah. It's horribly good.
Oh, yeah. The Ronald Perlman years. Yeah. Good times all ahead.
I mean, it's 90s.
I'm shocked
Doesn't it have a
didn't
Charles
sell.
Vest poster?
Sorry? Look at that.
I'm shocked that didn't sell.
Amazed this didn't sell. Usually Spidey really sells, and I didn't put this up for a lot. I put it up for a tenner. You got to look at this. Fair market value is about $30. It's,
Yeah, I was going to say 30.
Yeah. So, guys are missing out on some stuff. All my variants sold, so I can't show you my variants. Oh, the one variant, the one that didn't sell, actually, I'm quite pleased didn't sell, was this one. This is Unbreakable Red Sonja #1, the New York Comic Convention.
Oh, wow. That's a beautiful cover.
Red Sonja, I think, like,
That's
so many variants there, didn't they?
Lee and Hook, which is one of the other.
Nevs, that kind of looks like Scarlett Johansson, don't you think?
It does a bit.
It does, right?
A
I
bit.
don't know.
They both have red hair and boobs.
There you go.
And Scarlett Johansson also has metal armor and metal bra.
They're like twins.
Yeah.
Yep.
You gotta watch those punchlines, man. I was drinking then. Could have taken.
I was trying. I missed that. Sorry.
So, to be honest, I'm not sad that any of those didn't sell because I'll be able to sell them. Those prices.
Hell yeah.
Those prices,
Another venue.
they'll just sell.
I'm shocked they didn't sell that. Well, yeah, you just sold 3 to us. So, I mean, yeah, I think you're right. I think you have a point.
All right. Well, speaking of mistaken purchases,
Uh-oh.
I've got a bang one. So one of my favorite comics, just silliness, is The Goon, right?
Oh,
The
yeah.
Goon, for the uninitiated, is a big bloke who has a mate called Frankie, and he lives in a town that he quietly runs. Sometimes it's a slapstick comedy, sometimes it's a zombie strip, sometimes it's a musical. It's always violent, and it usually features a line "knife to the eye." So I stopped making comics for a bit, so I know there's gaps in my run. However, so I just buy The Goon now if I see an issue, and I'm just like, well, what's the worst that happens if I have a spare issue of The Goon? However, being an idiot, right? I'm sure this looks familiar, but I want to make sure I can always give it away if I'm wrong, right? However, this is a variant issue of The Goon, but it's not a variant in that the cover is different. It's a variant because the text is all in Spanish. It's the Mexican edition of the same issue. It's not like a Mexican variant or anything. It's just a Dark Horse issue, but for this issue, they went, let's do an English version and a Spanish version. My Spanish is about as good as my Florida accent that I think you've heard earlier on. Cool cover. Big monsters. Spanish.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah,
is it not in Spanish on the cover then? Is the cover not in Spanish?
It is, but I mean, like, he
You thought it was
uses a
just
lot
like
of Mexican wrestling iconography, so that wouldn't be out of the norm.
Yes, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You'd go like, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
El Hombre, so.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
All right. Hey, Graham, why don't you blow me up? I want you to read this real quick. I'm dying to have you read this comic strip in your orator voice here.
Oh gosh, have I go?
I'm not Graham. Graham's a different man.
Yeah, I've got to drag it over. You always go to the person who was already on before when you open it.
There's the first part.
I beg your pardon. I asked if you would make an offering to a spiritual pilgrim. Ah, you're a penguin too? Pilgrim, my son. Pilgrim? Yes, of the Hare Krishnas. Hairy Fishnuts? Hare Krishnas, your offering will go to our prayer temples. Dimples? Prayer temples. Peer pimples for hairy fishnuts. Just cough up. Oh, Mac. Weird.
That's one of my favorites. That's
Hair pimples
hilarious.
for hairy fishnets.
That strip was like a Abbott Costello blinking sketch.
Oh, most everything in it was like that.
There's
It was
two
like a
things
back
I
and
think
forth.
of. Pear pimples for hairy fishnuts and messy queznuts. You know what messy queznuts is, right?
Merry Christmas.
It's how Baldric says Merry Christmas.
Oh.
Thank you.
Messy
I don't know
queznuts.
who's
I feel
saying
so
that.
enlightened, don't you, Mark? Look, Mark's all like relaxed. She's like, I'm just gonna take this all.
And
in.
there's
It
my
makes no
bookmark.
sense anyway.
I always say
I'm just here for the ride.
as soon as say
Stupid yank.
I'm doing the shoulder problems at the moment.
Yeah, likely story. I'm kidding you.
So, Nevs, I don't know if you've had a chance to research
Tony.
this show on YouTube, but you've joined an elite pantheon of the likes of Hillary Barta, who did the What Does and the Plastic Mans.
I
He's
know
a
who Hillary
regular.
Barta is. I'm a big fan.
He's a regular guest on our show. We've had Tom Mandrake,
When he
JMD.
signed my
Mateo.
Plastic
Yeah,
Yes.
Really?
yeah,
Wow. Okay. I'm a
yeah.
big
We can
fan.
definitely call him a
JMD
friend of the
Mateus is one of
show.
the most versatile players.
Hillary helped
That's
launch the
amazing.
show. Hillary and JM's come on the show. Shit. who am I leaving out? Raphael Nieves, who did this,
The guy who did Brain, the guy who's doing Crime Busters.
and then the guy that took over Crime Busters has done it.
Yeah.
But I'll send you a link to the channel, to the Graham's channel here, where we've done these, and you can peek them out. But you're keeping that kind of company. Guys like Bill over there who wrote
That's
books with Neil Adams, and yeah, so you're one of our honored guests that way. So that's how I view you, just as a wonder.
I am flattered and happy to be here. I mean, I'm here in my room, so I would have been in here anyway. But nonetheless, I'm happy to be.
But now you're not alone in your room. By the magic of cyberspace.
Well, I've got Marilyn and Tigger, which is basically the best night out in the world, mate.
Yeah. That's a menage a trois I never thought I'd see.
Well, it's comics on the internet, mate. You're lucky there's no tentacles.
How can I top
There's a
Marilyn?
subtitle for the show.
And you've got Kyle and his dragon later as well. So he's you got Bill and his blinking Batman Beyond, and
Charles Manson.
yeah, there's some interesting pairings going on here.
Now you got a Tigger in the mix. It
Tigger,
looks kind of like
Tigger was, believe it or not, Tigger was donated to the shop, and he was meant to be kind of given away to one of the customers. But I was like, no, this is my new life companion. And he moved in, and we've been having a good time ever since.
and of course,
wears his
Kyle
hat
has
much
to
better
come
than
on with
sleeps in.
a straight.
Can I just say, if you are being coerced, if you are being coerced,
It looks
just
too
mark
big on
that.
me, so I look like a really bad Lucifer rising act. On Tigger,
Mark,
for
Tigger's
some
like,
reason,
I think we're descending into chaos. It's all good into chaos. Is just my imagination.
starts boinging at
what the fuck? I mean, what the fuck?
Oh my god!
It's the high intellectual
I'm
content
dying here.
guys,
Folks.
Going on.
that kills the viewer.
I can't hear you over ET, Mark. Sorry.
Are we going to get copyright?
Put a finger up you.
Just checking off now.
Yeah.
There we go.
All right. Can I do my last bit of shit?
Sending in the Tigger in now.
Let me just put Tigger down. He's a wild animal if you don't control him.
It's
Yeah.
very
Sorry.
bouncy.
And this was
the
the
other
last
thing I think
episode
recently-
of our series.
When all the lawyers came in at once.
Here's where you put things in.
So,
T.
I
Brother
I'm really
Joe. Hey,
trying
Brother Joe.
to concentrate, and ET's big face is in my face. Okay, so recent thing I
E.T. is
picked
back
up. I've had these before, but again, they're things you want as spares. So, really truncated version is obviously Big Freddie Workman tried to convince America that their children would turn into gay communists if they read comics. And he used several comics as evidence of this. Outside of the Batman and the Wonder Woman, there was a collection of them put together by Eclipse. Is it Eclipse? It's Eclipse in a series called Seduction of the Innocent. This is a collection of the strips that Freddie Wortham uses evidence of America being turned into gay communists by comics. That's pretty much what his actual point was.
Yeah.
That
And
means
it's
like
come true
seeing
as well.
Robin's
It's come
fucking
true.
gay.
It's not
Anyway.
harm Carl and Bill at all.
So the
Look at
reason-
them. Look at fine, upstanding citizens.
These are fine people on these covers. Also, this is like a really good collection of talent. Okay, so you get two shakes of rattlesnakes. Credits aren't actually credited because it's before artists were allowed to have their names mentioned in comics.
Yeah.
Look, it's just gorgeous, right? It's really annoying that Eclipse are better than coloring comics in the 80s than most comics companies are now. Anyway, there's people like Toth in here, there's Eisner, there's Kurtzman. It's all kinds of good stuff. And the reason I've got this fine selection of goodies is I got them off my good mate Lorne Brown. And the reason I bring up my good mate Lorne Brown is he is running a show. It's called Comics and Beer. It is on Saturday, the 11th of March, between 12 o'clock and 5 o'clock, and it is on House on the Hill pub on Southover Street in Brighton. You go along, you have some beer, and you buy some comics. Lorne sells his comics really cheap, and you find all kinds of things like this. There may or may not be a live act. It's still in conversation, but there will certainly be comics and beer. I will send the poster over to one of the chaps, and you'll be able to see the flyer. But yeah, comics and beer, 11th of March, 12 till 5, Southover Street in Brighton. It's literally about 10 minutes walk from Brighton Station, which is in England. So if you're in England, American viewers, on the 11th of March, you should go to Brighton, get some comics and some beer. This isn't beer, but
some beer.
Visual circumstances.
Is
not
it real
beer,
alcohol?
but same kind of can shape as beer.
Wow.
Not beer.
Here, we're handshaking with beer, Nevs. Let's handshake with beer.
This is a rock star who I've been desperately trying to get to sponsor me for about 5 years now. I've been drinking their products on all kinds of shows. Not even got in contact. That's unbelievable. Rockstar. I drink about 5 of these a day. 5
and Purple Haze
a day.
still has not given me any kind of sponsorship. Those bastards.
I mean, you know,
it's a fantastic beer.
Jimi Hendrix speaks highly of you, Bill.
No, it's actually the actual color of it is purple and it has a haze, so they could claim it as aspects of the beer.
That is truth in advertising, right?
I think it's genius. It's genius, and I've been drinking it for 20 years. Mark is an overload tonight. But what I do want to say about Seduction of the Innocent is, and I don't know if I won or not. I think I hopefully I did. I don't know, but I submitted for my panel this year at the Comic Arts conversion at San Diego Comic-Con. My submission was actually on the congressional hearings and the Seduction of the Innocent and EC Comics. So most of the people I have are EC Comic people, but I also hopefully am getting someone who has completely erased everything that the author of Seduction of the Innocent came up with. They've basically just proven everything he said.
Wow.
And so that's amazing because it created the Comics Code Authority, which was probably the biggest driving force in American comics for a good 50 years.
Didn't you do that on the a British article in the Reader's Digest once, Mark, about
Yes. There's a Reader's Digest.
I don't know about this one.
Yeah, I've got it somewhere. It might even be nearby. Yeah, there is a Reader's Digest that came out about the same time as Werther was doing his Seduction of the Innocent stuff. I think slightly before, and it's called "What Are Your Children Reading?" You know, the Reader's Digest,
right?
And it's a copy of Reader's Digest, and it's called "What Are Your Children Reading?" And it's sort of, you know, I went to my local comic book store and I bought some comics, and they were horrific. You know, there was a man with his head cut off, and there was a daughter who killed his father's mistress, and you know, that sort of, which they were. I mean, they were horrific.
They were, yeah.
And this article was then saying we went round and we as a community told all the news agents we would stop using them unless they stopped selling these comics. And it was at the same time. It was at the same time as the Seduction of the Innocent stuff was going on,
and the congressional hearings.
That's Mary Whitehouse tactic.
The keep out.
This was, when was Werther is
54 and 55?
Yeah, and the Estes keep over here.
Yeah, about 1952. This Reader's Digest.
Oh wow! It was before. Yeah, wow.
About very early, similar sort of time, and it's. under the radar. It was my mate Alan. Do you know Alan, the comic collector geek? He's he's got virtually all
A comic collector geek called Alan, Mark. Like,
Who'd
you
have
might as well say
thought?
he's a comic reader who wears glasses.
It's called Alan with 2 L's. So
It's
Oh,
with
now you
2
know.
L's.
Oh,
Damn it, Nevs.
Alan. The Alan with 2 L's, not all them Alans with 1 L.
I
but
hate
he has
to
got,
say this,
he's
but
got
actually,
virtually the entire
I think
collection.
I do know who you mean.
But yeah, anyway, he told me about this Reader's Digest thing, and I went and found it. It cost me about £6 or something, and so I've got it somewhere. Yeah, really fascinating.
Would you do a scan of the page? Because I'd love to read that. I don't think I've read this, and this is the kind of
I'll dig it
I'm
out.
obsessed with.
I'll dig it out for
Mary
you,
Whitehouse
now.
and Frederick Martin stuff.
Yeah, I'll photocopy it and show you. I might well come down to Brighton, or I might come down to your character shop as well.
No. Well, I'll
What
certainly
time?
be at the next comic mark. So I'm,
Oh, will you?
basically my
Okay,
church
well,
comic mark.
I'll probably see you there.
The one at the
I'll
Royal
be with-
National.
I'll be with my my sort of equivalent of Baldric.
I have a cunning plan, sir.
So yeah, I'll dig that out and I'll copy it. If it's really interesting, I'll dig it out.
Oh, that'd be fantastic.
Yeah,
It'd be
very
fantastic, terrific, astounding. And other
Yeah.
references to
Indeed.
1970s
It was
British
quite
Marvel
heavy,
reprints that
wasn't it,
no one else is going to
article?
get.
Sorry?
It was very anti, wasn't it, that article? It was kind of like, it almost made me think, oh, maybe they had a point from whatever.
Oh yeah, no, it was very anti. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
It was, we need to stand up. I mean, to be honest with you, if you look at some of the pre-code horror, I mean, you wouldn't want your kids to read it. To be fair,
Well, I don't have any kids, so I'll happily read.
you're okay, then, mate. So, but you know, it was.
Like, I smoke cigarettes that have the low birth weight. It's not going to affect me. Yeah.
That's very true. So it's just one of the. It was part of the. It didn't last that long. When did it go on from 1955 to? I mean, to be honest, at the beginning of the 70s, they relaxed all the controls anyway, which is why we got all the DC horror stuff in the 70s. So it went from 55
That's
to.
not long before the whole action coming up in the House of Lords. I might be misremembering that, but it was something like Action or Battle, one of the Pat Mills titles that ended up being discussed. I've got the Pat Mills book over there, so I tell you what, I'll look it up. Entertain yourself. I'll leave you with Tigger.
I love this. This is my favorite episode yet. I've had some. So I do want to say real quick while he's looking for that. This is my friend Alex's book, Hashman, and it's about his friend's dad, who basically started the CBD industry in, I believe, Seattle, and it's an amazing read. I have a feeling it'll become a movie or TV series, but I suggest if anybody wants to get the book, it's out there, and the artwork is very underground like.
Oh yeah,
and it's great. The colors are great. I mean, it's a fantastic book. And Alex and I wrote the Neil Adams book together, and I think anything he does is great. But this is bar none the best thing he's ever done.
Okay.
So, and it's a great read. It really is. Believe it or not, the story. His dad goes to prison. He gets out. He creates his own cottage industry. I mean, it's pretty fun. And he started out as a nurse practitioner, helping people, and he only wanted to help people through,
time management,
the use of this. So it's actually a misnomer to look at the cover, but he was actually a guy who was really started out and continues to this day to help people through what he prescribes. So that's that.
Yeah, that's a good story because CBD is fine. I mean, it's just helpful.
Oh, it's huge over here in Texas. We don't allow weed, but we allow CBD, and
it's had all the narcotics taken out of it.
Yeah.
Hey, Nevs, here's Hillary's run of Plastic Man.
Hold on,
Ooh.
Those were great.
big screen's
Awesome.
coming. Big screen's coming.
There's Bill's face.
There you go.
No,
Those
they're
are great.
awesome things. I even
Yeah,
have
that-
his image comic, believe it or not.
Stupid.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And while
I
you were
have
talking
stupid
about
one.
Seduction of the Innocent here, do you have the 3D
Oh.
Seduction of the Innocent
That's beautiful.
with
I
the
do.
Dave
I always
Stevens
feel
cover?
Okay.
That's cool, Kyle.
And then I don't
we
know
had
if I
the
saw
poster
this
about
one.
Orbital and it went
Do you
missing.
have the 3D issue too with the Wrightson cover?
That's great. We may have to trade
I've got
those.
the 3D Little Nemo and Slumberland book that Blackthorn did, and it's awful, but it's still Little Nemo,
gorgeous,
so I have to
right?
have it.
Yeah, them are pretty. I got some pretty books up here. Not for long if Mark has his way, but
Oh, you're looking for all these.
Okay, someone in the comments will correct us because that's what comic fans are really good at doing. Going, aha, this person's got a thing wrong.
There
I'm
you
gonna
go.
run
Hey,
it and
Nevs, if you
Flamingo.
offer up $100, I'll
Oh my God, no.
I'll
No,
whack
you-
you.
No.
Oh,
I'm
walking away.
it's not
And-
that I
While I'm thinking of it, Brother
see,
Joe,
now
I need
you
to ask.
put me in the heel position. I don't have $100, but now I look like I don't want to help fight cancer.
There you go. I gotta ask since it's
Thanks,
in the thread,
Kyle.
Brother Joe. Did Bobby get the card I sent him? I'm guessing that acknowledgement in the thread. Oh, baking a cake for my grandson here. Yeah, Bobby. Did Bobby get my postcard there, Joe? I sent Bobby a special postcard this week.
okay.
And if he tells me he got it,
Okay,
then I
so-
can tell what was in it.
So what were you saying, Nevs? That's
I
me.
can't find it. I'm sure it's either battle or action. That
I think it was
just
action.
after
Action
that
was.
was it action?
I think so. Action
It's
did
one
have
of the
a,
Pat
a,
Mills titles, which is why I'm holding this up. So someone
I'm
who's
sure it was
more au
actually-
fait with Pat's
remember-
career can.
hook jaw and all that kind of thing, and rollerball. It kind of got done for them, didn't it? They
Yeah,
were too violent.
yeah. So it's going to be covered in here. I just didn't know the conversation was going this way, but this is a very good book. It's Pat's look at his time working on those magazines, and then on to 2000 AD, and then where it all went wrong with 2000 AD. But if you've never seen Pat talk live, he is incredibly entertaining as a conversationalist as well. So buy this, buy Charlie's War, because it's probably the best comic about war that's ever been published.
Very
by
good.
Pat
Yes, I've
Mills.
got it. Yeah, I've got it
Yeah.
actually.
Oh, it's amazing stuff.
Very good.
While I had him up, do you want to see some Dave Stevens goodness?
They did a film with Charlie's War as well.
Who's going to say no to that?
All right.
Oh, it's beautiful.
We'll put you on the big screen when it works.
Not me.
Yeah,
I'm not
I know,
as
but
pretty
it
as the
always
lady.
goes
Oh
to
yeah,
the
that's
last
gorgeous.
person. There's no way
I
of
know,
making
it's
it.
I'm just turning it into a running gag. It's a running gag. We can take
annoying
this on the
gag.
road. Oh, all right.
So,
Ah. Is that Blackbeard?
I don't know if she has a
No, I just
black
haven't
beard.
shaved.
I would guess red and
No,
blonde.
no. Go down a little. I mean, go down. I fed right into you. pull the issue down a little bit more.
Blackthorn.
Don't
Black
tell him
Thorn.
that.
God
Stop
damn it.
Dave Stevens Alien comic.
you realise you're now part of a double act. You're just feeding him his lines now.
Yeah, that's all I did. It's all
Let's see, and I showed the Seduction to the Innocent.
Thanks, Mark.
I haven't pulled all my Dave Stevens books yet, but I'm getting there. Little Betty Page.
Oh, hot doppelganger bondage action in the desert, just as you like it. Maybe
There you go.
Freddie had a point. Ooh.
You know, I always thought the coloring on that was all wrong. That's gorgeous. Yeah.
Oh, classic.
Just a random stack of Dave Stevens that I had wedged in back there.
Beautiful stuff.
All right, did Joe answer me there? Is it damn? I click on just Stevens. Yeah. I got to figure out where I just put that. Oh, I know where I put the King Kong. Hold on a minute. Now I know exactly where I put
Hey,
it.
Simple Simon, what was the Dave Stevens Grail? Tell us what
The
it
one
was.
with the two on the flying bike, I think, is his one he wants. The two girls on the
Oh,
bike
is it
flying up.
Vanguard Illustrated? Yeah.
No,
Or
the
Planet. One of those.
Planet Comics. Planet Comics ones with the two women on the bike.
Dan Parent's just done a variant for that from one of the Archie books. Or rather, they all kind of blur into one after a while, to be honest.
Nevs, do you know where Dan was last weekend?
He's
He was
there
in
now.
Mumbai.
I feel like I'm being interrogated, Bill.
He was in Mumbai.
right now.
Yeah, probably.
Oh, yeah, I did see that. Oh,
Yeah,
I thought
India
I'd been,
India
asked
Comic
to-
Con. Or
Uh-huh.
Comic Con India. I
That's
can't remember
that
what it's
very
called.
nice.
Yeah, it
Comic-Con.
it looks great. It took them like a day to travel there each way. You know,
Mhm.
there and back. So, but it looked like it was a really good turnout. So, India now has I guess they
There was,
probably always had a comic book following. But I found that interesting.
I'm trying to think. There's an Indian-looking version of Riverdale coming up, isn't there? Like it's a live action.
I think it's already out.
Archie, but
Maybe
it's-
even. Yeah.
maybe
Not Dave
it's out. So that would
Stevens.
make sense that he went.
Oh yeah, no, it makes perfect sense. Yeah, no, exactly.
Not
Oh,
Dave
wow.
Stevens. But on the backside,
I've
yes,
only got
Dave.
issue 2 of that. I'm like, oh my god, you've got a copy of Freaks. I hate you. I've been looking for that for years.
Wow.
Mhm.
Did
So,
you ever?
yeah.
That
Did
was
you ever see the
that
Art
was the
Adams
Monster
version of
Comics
that?
line that Fantagraphics started, right? There was a line they started Eros because they needed
Yeah.
money, but they also did a whole line of comics based on movies. So they did King Kong and the Cabinet of Dr. Caligari,
Yeah.
and Freaks, obviously. Yeah.
And Stevens boobies. So yeah.
Well, what's the name of the Cabinet of Dr. Caligari? Actually, I wouldn't swear to that.
Okay.
Hello.
Anyone else in the show?
Where'd the dragon go?
He was upstairs now. The dragon lives in the garage.
Yeah, he's
Oh, gotcha.
I think his performance time had gone up. And
I'm not keeping
No
up
one else to name.
whatsoever. I need the Cliff Notes version.
Tigger, man.
And of course, while we're talking 2000 AD, I never tire of showing this. I will never tire of showing
I'm
this.
sorry. Like, oh, that's pretty.
Mick Jones at a Clash.
Wow.
Mick is a regular at the Comic Mart. It's
Yeah.
really freaky.
Is he really?
He's the only celebrity I haven't found the testicles to talk to yet. Like, I see him almost every other show, and I'm like, that's
Yeah.
Mick Jones. The Clash is my favorite band. I should probably say hello to Mick Jones, but I just like go.
8 December 79 is when London Calling got released, and he picked this issue and signed it and sent it to me. So
When what? When Leonard Cohen what?
London Calling was released.
London
Oh,
Calling.
London Calling. I thought you said Leonard Cohen.
I have that.
Yeah,
ring-
Leonard Cohen got out of prison in '77. It was a terrible thing. There was an octopus.
Yeah.
I have London Calling as the ringtone on my phone. So if somebody rings me up, it starts playing London Calling.
I love that, actually. London Calling. I love that. You know, that was like the later days of my high school years. That's how old I am.
You got paid the electric bill, Carl? Oh, no.
I'm headed
Ha
downstairs.
I did.
I'm trying not to disturb the wife, but this is my other fun one I love having, my original pistol single.
Wow.
Oh no! Oh, you're killing me, Kyle. You're killing
So
me.
I saw like their third
Great,
appearance in the
great.
United States.
If
I was
Mick
14.
Jones came up to our stand at London Comic Mart, would you even know who he was?
Sorry?
If Mick Jones
Sorry?
came
No,
to
I
our,
wouldn't have a clue. I wouldn't have a clue.
oh, I wouldn't either.
No.
Really?
I would.
He's fairly
So-
noticeable.
Yeah,
I'm not.
he's
I'm not really massive into the Clash, so I've heard their songs, but I don't know what
But-
it looks like.
he's a big comic book nerd, but he said no to coming on this show
Yeah.
right now because he ain't feeling interviews. But he said talk to him again in April. He'll eventually come on here with us.
What?
So he'll
That'd
eventually
be
come
awesome.
on with us.
You do the show with Mick Jones without me, I will literally walk to America and
Slap
piss
you.
on your Peter Gabriel
Yeah.
sign.
They
He's-
strangle his
he's not-
ass.
He's not feeling it right now, but he's April, probably by April's.
Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens.
He'll get up on it.
Kyle is amazing. He will go at people and he just wheedles in there and he sort of has this amazing technique.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
that's-
He basically said,
I'm in the queue. I'm in the queue right now with Neil Gaiman's people to ask him on the show too. So worst he's gonna do is say no, but odds on I'm gonna get Neil Gaiman on here for maybe a 15 or 30 minutes.
basically sings them songs about tumors until they agree to come on.
Yeah.
I say I'm gonna make a wish. Can't do this for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mr. Gaiman, you need to come on the show. Otherwise, we're going to get this American guy to sing about his tumor to you.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
But like when JM
And you
came
don't want to
on,
see the
we
pictures,
talked
mate.
about JM. JM put out a CD in 1990, and we were talking about it on the show. And I'm like, where can we go get one of those? He goes, I don't know if you can find them for sale anywhere, but I'll pull one off my shelf and give it to you. So he sent me a signed copy of his CD.
Oh,
Wow. So, yeah, I have a million questions.
Because I'm a schmoozer.
Yeah.
So, what did Johnny Lydon say when you asked him to be on the show?
yeah.
I'm thinking about asking
give
him.
me some butter first, mate.
I just sent
British butter.
I just sent Graham and Mark pictures of Johnny's interview, pictures with Johnny with Steve Pulcheris, interviews with him there, but
Oh,
I would
Steve.
love to have
Oh,
him
okay.
on.
The world is
I
that.
would be more than happy to interview him.
yeah, Steve interviewed him, but he said it wasn't very pleasant. They were smiling in the picture, but it wasn't very pleasant.
He was like my second or third legit rock concert. I saw them when I was 14, and I saw Sid Vicious was still with us, and I saw him at Randy's Rodeo here in San Antonio,
Wow.
Texas, and I think it was their fourth show, and it was horribly good. I mean, they couldn't play worth a bleep, but it was a hell of an experience.
It
And
was the energy, though, wasn't it?
the energy was great. The energy was the whole show. It's them being pissed off at us.
Yeah.
And it was just so hilarious. All they did was like throw alcohol on people, say how much we sucked and how much they thought Texas were going to be badasses, but they weren't. They were pussies. And so all they did was piss off the crowd. But at the end, everyone's going, wow, that was a great show. So they knew what they were doing in a weird sense. But they were horrible. They were horrible. And I was a kid. I thought they were great until I was about 22, and I realized they were horrible. It was just the fact that they started this whole frenzy. That was a great part. And at that, they were maestros. But playing instruments, I don't think any of them, except Stephen Jones maybe, I don't think any of them knew what the hell they were doing.
I think Carl collapsed.
Yeah, what's happened to Kyle? Is he all right?
I don't know. He's dropped his phone and he's you there, Carl?
On the floor.
Right there, Carl.
He's all right.
Ready to call the musician. a dragon specialist.
We don't want you dying live on our show.
Yeah.
No,
No,
actually,
not
we
twice.
do. It'll help our ratings.
I plugged this thing into the
We don't.
charger.
We don't. I'm kidding.
Carl, don't die on my show unless you're on full screen because we want
I
to see.
plugged this thing into the charger, and I sat down and I realized,
on
oh
4K,
shit,
yeah.
I have.
Yeah.
I sat down, and these medications I take when I have to go to the loo, I have to go to the loo, and I sat
Blame
down.
the
And I
meds.
sat on my nuts.
Blame the meds.
I sat on my nuts, and I had to pee. It was a you have to pee right now. So I got up, and I tripped over my cord
You
and
asked
pulled
the
my
man,
phone.
right? And he
This is a show about comics. And
The nasty side effects to prostate bladder cancer.
Yeah, he needs to keep up a little
This
bit.
is the most niche show I've ever been on.
Stick your pants up a little bit.
name is Larry. My name is Larry.
Oh, here we go.
Please no.
All right, let's slip the hooch into the blinking punch this week. What's going on?
Do you know, you always imagine if you're an alien race and you're monitoring broadcasts
Yeah,
from Earth,
this is the one they see.
what happens if this is the one they see?
I think it might be quite good.
That's probably why we haven't been visited.
Taking over that planet, there are a bunch of more.
No intelligent life there.
Now, got a question for you, Graham and Mark and Bill and Nev.
Okay, everybody.
But mainly, this is mainly at Graham to start. Can we make Nevs a regular?
Yes. Hell
If you want
yes.
to see, if you want, I'm fine with it. Yeah.
You did
Yeah,
just put them in
yeah.
a really
You
awkward
wanna-
position, though. To be fair, like if they said no while I was right here, live on the air, it would have been hella awkward.
No,
If I said, yeah.
Bill started off the same way. Bill started off the same way. And it's like,
I want to know why you're filthy 77.
I was born in 1977,
Yeah.
and filthy.
And he
is
was filthy
the
when he was
nickname I
born.
got from.
Sorry.
Yeah. It was a difficult
All
birth.
right.
It came out the wrong
Little
way.
filthy lucre.
not the motorhead driver. then,
Partly
I think.
that actually.
Yeah.
Filthy lucre.
It was my performing nickname. Like I used to be a stand-up poet called Filthy Nevs, and then I started a band called the Filthy Orphans.
Okay.
So yeah, it's just a name
I
that
used to
stuck
like
about.
Silver
So
Knight Kyle. That sort of historical.
you used to like doing what with a pile, mate?
Yeah.
Silver Knight
You
Kyle.
used to like doing what with a pile?
Yeah. Now when
Oh,
I came on first, I had to jump back off when I was backstage because like I did a late night thing out of New York, and my little tag actually had said "Your Valentine, bitch" on it, and I was like, "Oh no, I can't go on this show with your Valentine, bitch" on there. So
Why not?
you know, so
I'm just saying.
Is Valentine's offensive in some way? Or?
Nah. Well, yeah, by incels. But yeah.
So I think it gelled well. I think we had a lot of good laughs. I think we're cruising right along with this, and I think now with 6 we can add a guest in here. If this is the panel we can work with, we get the occasional Montreal Johnny in here. We'll get my grandnephew in here on occasion.
How about we talk about comics occasionally?
I think that would be a great idea. In
we
fact,
spent the majority of time talking about comics, but again,
this
this
has
is
been a little
Drew
off
Friedman,
topic.
he's really good
I'm
at drawing
going to have to
comics.
side with Mark on this one. It's been fun, but we just.
But that's the whole thing. Graham had an idea for a show, and I bastardized it. But I want it to be this loose, this free flowing, this relaxed, this
Well,
funny.
it's definitely been flowing in some way. I'll give you that.
What's that?
The more people on it, the less
Punchline
I have
on
to talk, so it's win-win for me.
Right. Okay. I'm off, guys. I've
Yeah.
had enough of Kyle.
And Bill.
Yeah.
No,
Thanks, Mark.
Kyle is Carl is sort of like here. I have to say, Nev is a bit more annoying than you, Bill.
Oh, really?
Sorry.
I have to say, Gray is the least.
I'll try harder.
That is pretty impressive. When Gray is the least annoying person.
Yeah.
Yeah, and when I'm the third least annoying person, I'm thrilled, man.
I know.
I'm thrilled.
So
I know. So I think
look, I do love a
Nev
challenge.
should join us
I can't
because
compete with a
because
man's
he's-
sense of humor. I don't have those weapons.
You're great. No, you're fine, Mark. It's funny how quickly you came out with those stats. It's like you think about that often. Oh no, I'll tell you
as the show's gone on, with pen and paper in the column, so you could let us know.
I'm happy. This is a great podcast.
I'm going, guys. Thank you
See
very
you,
much.
buddy.
Enjoyed it,
I'm
Mark.
gonna
Really
put
good.
an end now anyway.
Chat with
I'll see
Yeah,
you at the next
Later.
comic mart, I take it.
yeah, on here next week if you want to come on again.
Nevs.
Yes. Do you want to
Wait,
be in
we're back?
the Do you want to be in the comic chat where we're hooked into Messenger, where you can get the link
I'm
directly and
going to
everything?
need to talk to my manager, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
he wears the hat.
I reckon it'll
Whoever
be
wears
okay.
the hat is in charge. I think that's normally the rule, isn't it?
He's gonna have to talk to
Depends
his
on the
sister. Whatever.
Depends
Nevs,
on
if
the
you're
club.
good with it, I'm gonna add you. I'm gonna add you to the Messenger link, and then I'm gonna send you
Please
links to
do.
everybody's
I'm all
channel.
in.
Fun stuff.
I'm going to go and
I'm
check
all
out if anyone's got any comics up that I want to buy.
Yeah.
Should I be selling comics here? It feels like a conflict
it's
of
not
interest.
It's not really a selling forum. But if you try, you try selling to us whoever we have on. I don't think people in the chat are into buying. Chat so far is not that busy because it's kind of it's a bad slot for the American audience. It's about midday there, isn't it, or something silly like that, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, for next
What time
week's
you on,
show, I'll have the channel and I'll like post a link 20 minutes before we actually start on Facebook and something and say, hey, come and watch us. We're quite funny. Kyle might sing from an orifice.
Cool.
Have an episode called Larry Sings and let people figure it out. Because I am going to share with everybody that video. I am going to pull out that video and share it with everybody too.
Please
I've
don't
heard
say
it
come
enough
out in
from
any
you tonight.
context in this conversation.
Yeah. Especially now where it looks like E.T.'s hand that you had earlier on.
Do you know, I'd
That was very
already
disturbing.
repressed that, but thank you for bringing back that particular bit of trauma.
That was especially like guy at the tip. It was like, oh my god, what's going on there, Kyle? I know you had a radiation therapy, but that's just wrong.
One of my cop
Yeah,
buddies.
because
let's see
normally
if I can get
radiation
that on the
therapy
wall.
is just like a free pass to do anything, but apparently that was the limit.
Yeah.
Here,
Yeah.
I love showing this off, so I'm gonna actually.
Oh God, I've heard that before and it ended badly.
Yeah.
Now, one of my cop buddies before he retired found this at a site and he mailed that to me as a surprise
I swear if it's a corpse. Oh, okay.
while I was going through radiation treatment.
Airball radioactivity area.
Yeah. So basically, the joke to that is I sit out here in my chair and fart. So it's my airborne radioactivity area.
I'm about to call it a night. I'm just going to focus on my favorite weird thing I've picked up recently, just before I call it a night.
Put it on the big screen.
This is Revenge of the Green Goblin. It's a Spider-Man's miniseries, I believe, teamed by Lee Weeks. It's particularly mental because it takes place not long after Harry Osborn dies, right? And Norman Osborn comes back and he's all like, no, I didn't die. I got a homeless person to pretend to be me after I killed him. And then I went to Europe and then I came back. And then I hired an actress to pretend to be Aunt May and then gave her plastic surgery and she pretended to be Aunt May. And then she died, but the real Aunt May wasn't dead. Anyway, after all that, this is all stuff that happened in the comics. Norman says, do you know why Harry died, right? Harry died because he wasn't strong enough to be my real son. My real son should be Spider-Man. So he decides to basically gaslight Peter Parker into thinking that he is the son of Norman Osborn via, and I kid you not, right? Acid in Peter Parker's toothpaste. That is the key to Norman's plan. He
As in
puts
LSD, actually.
LSD in Peter Parker's Colgate. That's a
My
serious
God.
comic that Marvel published.
Yeah.
It's real.
This is how I stopped reading them. When everyone was
Kyle, that's why it doesn't carry the code.
Yeah.
Nobody anticipated drug toothpaste back then, yeah.
When everyone started being everybody else's grandson in X-Men, that's when I gave up on Marvel. It was all time traveling bullshit, and like Strife was also Cable, and Cable was the son of Brinking Scott Summers, and it was just like, this is rubbish now.
Cable is X-Man, but from a different timeline. I know that much, but actually the only Marvel comic I read ironically these days is Marvel Man, which shouldn't be a Marvel comic. Because obviously Marvel tried to sue Warrior for Marvel Man. And now 30 years later they're publishing Miracle Man. But I don't have.
They bought it outright.
Well, DC are publishing Captain Shazam rather, and they sued Full Stick for so it does happen.
Do you know what? I hope the one thing that happens out of all of this legal fandango over the last year over the JLA Avengers book that Hero Initiative published, I hope we get a Miracle Man Shazam crossover. That would be amazing.
That'd be pretty cool.
Spectacular.
I just hope we don't get sued for Larry the Singing Tumor. So
I think if we are, there's no way out of it now. That court case is coming, or it's not.
Yeah, if we get sued, I'm going to put it entirely in your court, Kyle, because it's all down to you, mate.
Well, there you go. There you go. I did it. Guilty as charged. I guess we lost.
With the theory of being arrested for your singing tumor, in my mind, I'm going to call it a night.
Me too.
Right.
Thank you, Kyle. Thank you, Gray.
Thanks for coming. Nice meeting you,
fellas. See you next week.
All right. Thank you all for watching the internet. I apologise for everything, but nothing.
You've not heard the theme tune yet. I can't go till you hear the theme tune.
There's a theme tune. It said there was a theme tune.
My channel theme tune.
We got to dance to it. Got to dance to it.
Have a amazing day. I hope you have a amazing day.
Have a great, amazing day, everybody. See you next week.
Later, everybody.